So even as we are tracking the Shraddha probe details that are coming in a short while from now, we are told that Aftab, who is the main accused in the case, will be produced in the court shortly. This is in Delhi Saket Court, and the police in all likelihood will be seeking his further custody because there are still many angles that still need to be investigated by the police. They have been taking him to the Mehrauli Ridge area on two occasions, rather, one with Aftab and yesterday without Aftab, but little progress that has been made. Even when it comes to DNA profiling, that needs to be done. A team of experts from the CFSL also have been gathering evidences from the residents, the apartment that both of them were staying, and a lot of time and a crucial time that has been lost ever since the murder that apparently happened in the month of May, and how he meticulously used chemicals and other items that were used to wipe out evidences, so that investigative agencies have been now flummoxed exactly how to build upon a watertight case against him. Sabyasachi, we are told in a short while from now he will be produced in court.
Well, absolutely. See, he will be produced before the court in the first half, and it will be really important for the Delhi police to seek the further custody of Aftab, as they have told earlier that Aftab is not cooperating fully and neither telling the entire truth. And for the narco test also, they would need Aftab in their custody. Though they have got a nod from the court, but they are yet to receive the nod from Aftab's as well as Aftab's family. But if they don't receive the nod from Aftab, they can go ahead with the psychoanalysis, which would help the Delhi police in the further investigation. Another angle which has come forth is that the water bill of that particular apartment is under scrutiny of the Delhi police. As we have spoken to several neighbors there, most of them have said that the water bill does not come in that particular apartment, because in the national capital, the water bill up to 20,000 litres is free. But Aftab's water bill in the month of May is due, that is rupees 300. So clearly the theory that we had said, and the Delhi police have also said, that Aftab had used water to dispose of the blood, as well as used to dismantle the body of Shraddha under the shower. So in that particular theory, this particular water angle is very important, because it is only Aftab's apartment where the water bill is due in the month of May. All the apartments, the rest of the apartments, there is no water bill. So this particular angle is also under scrutiny by the Delhi police. It is important for the Delhi police to build up the evidence, though they have got some sort of relief in this case so far. As far as the blood stains are concerned, they have collected blood stains from Aftab's kitchen as well as the bathroom. From the bathroom, they have also collected some fragment of bones as well, which they have sent it to the Central Forensic Team. Now the Central Forensic Team was present at Aftab's residence from the last 3 days. They have been scanning the entire area thoroughly. They have also used high-end chemicals to make sure that if the blood is not visible in normal eyes, the traces of it can be seen. That's how they have collected the blood samples from the bathroom. But the police will be going ahead and asking for the custody of Aftab, because they have to conduct the narco test as well as the psychoanalysis test of Aftab.
All right, so several details and angles that are still being investigated on part of the police, because when it comes to also the recovery of the remaining body parts of Shraddha, that includes the skull, that is also being done. DNA profiling is another case, another angle, as far as the father also submitting his samples here to match the DNA with that of Shraddha and the remains that have been found. Even talking to the neighbors and their friends, and even also going into the social media accounts of both of them, the bank accounts of both of them, because there have been several financial and money transactions that have also been made by Aftab on behalf of Shraddha as well. Several angles there, Sabyasachi, that is still needed to be investigated by the police.
Well, absolutely. See, there are several angles. One of the angle is that the SIM cards that he used, and also the mobile phone that he has sold in OLX. For that reason, the investigating team has also roped in the cyber cell to help them to investigate as far as the gadgets are concerned. And also, the Delhi police would be using the help of psychoanalysis to analyze Aftab in this case, because the Delhi police have to ascertain the kind of relationship Aftab had with Shraddha, and also the mentality and the nature of crime that he committed. This particular analysis will be confirmed through psychoanalysis, as well as the narco test is very important to match with the confession that Aftab has told Delhi police. Other than that, there are several angles which the Delhi police is investigating. One is they are talking to the neighbors to understand if they had seen Shraddha or they have heard anything while both of them used to fight in that apartment. And also they are routing a map through which Aftab used to go every day at around 2 a.m. in the night to dispose of the bodies. The Delhi police, though, have got some CCTV footages, but these footages are of not much help, because the cameras did not have a backup of about 6 months. And also the major problem that Delhi police is facing right now is to collect the rest of the evidence, like the weapon that he used to dispose the body, to cut the body of Shraddha, as well as the area where he has dumped the clothes which Shraddha was wearing. So these
the police needs more time. Police needs more time to investigate further, because they have been still unable to locate as far as the remaining body parts of Shraddha is concerned. Were they dumped in the same locations as Aftab has been pointing out? Because Sabyasachi, please to stay on with us. There have been several occasions what the police have been saying that Aftab has been trying to mislead them. Earlier, misleading the Palghar police when the first case was registered, a missing report that was registered on part of Shraddha's family, because he had been saying that they had a fight and she moved out. She is no longer with him. Those were the first lies that for the police there failed to nail Aftab on those lies, but he has been constantly misleading. So remains to be seen as far as Shraddha's remaining body parts are concerned. Are they dumped and disposed in the same area as Aftab has been claiming in the Mehrauli Ridge area? Let's talk about the other confessions that this individual seems to be making, because Aftab has been saying till now that he had not just Shraddha, he had even 20 more female friends. He was dating several women at the same time. He has been claiming that he has over 20 girlfriends that are spread across Delhi and Maharashtra. He's also been saying that he met them via dating applications. So social media was something that the police is also going through as to how many women that he was in touch with apparently at the same time. Because it is also being suggested that some of these women also visited the residence right after Shraddha's murder and were with Aftab and Shraddha's remaining body parts that he used to be storing them in different places of the house. Did they have any inkling about this or not? That is still being investigated on part of the police. What he is also being suggested that he used several SIM cards. So imagine if he was dating around 20 women at the same time, 20 different SIM cards that was being used by Aftab simultaneously. And before he used to be talking all of to these women, he used to dispose of the previous phones, the old phones, and especially when it comes to Shraddha's phone, that is something that is till now not being located by the police. Now there are some reports that suggest either he dumped the phones there in Maharashtra itself to remove any traces. There were other reports that also suggested that he was using Shraddha's phone to make and give an expression that Shraddha was very much alive and very much active on social media. In fact, he was also doing financial transactions through Shraddha's bank accounts as he was making the money transaction and giving the fact and an impression that Shraddha is very much around. Let me go across to Shivani also. Sabyasachi is with us right now as well. Shivani, several angles that are being investigated that also talk about that why the Palghar police, when the missing persons report was filed, failed to locate and failed to nail the lies of Aftab.
Well, yes, here we have given the fact that these are the places wherein Aftab was saying, Aftab along with Shraddha was staying. So let me tell you first that where we are reporting from is the Naigaon East complex, and there this is the particular building in which Aftab was staying with Shraddha, where he introduced her as his wife, and the building is not registered, henceforth no police verification took place, which also raises a question that why did Palghar police not check with the building authorities that how come they provided the flat to Aftab and Shraddha then in 2019. Also, we are given the fact that it was everywhere else also where they stayed, the other two places in Vasai region. Aftab and Shraddha were introduced to each other and the society members and the owners of the building and the apartment as the husband and wife, and that's how they got the flats very easily. In fact, on every detail of that particular rented house, if we go so, we can see only Aftab's family's interference. Aftab's family, his father and mother, both had given their photographs and documents to make the documents of the particular rented house, which also made Aftab's life easy to get rented house. And in fact, in this particular building also, a security we spoke to says that only the people on rent come and go building is not authorized, so it becomes very easy for people to get a rented house, and police verification does not take place at all. And that is why in this building it was the first place where Aftab and Shraddha stayed as live-in partners, and nobody got to know that they are not husband and wife but just a girlfriend and boyfriend with a staying with each other. And also after this, the next place where they move in, that is Vasai East, there also Aftab was introduced as Shraddha's husband. He introduced Shraddha as his wife, and they got that flat on the basis of Aftab's parents.
People, I mean, behind you, you're standing right there at the complex where earlier they were staying at, because apparently they have been regularly shifting their locations. Did the people around them know exactly who were there? I mean, have there been any conversations? Have there been any interactions, Shivani?
Well, we tried to enter the building, but we spoke to only one security who has changed a few months back, and he was the one who informed us that, madam, here only people come to stay on rent for 2-3 months, max 5-7 months, and there is no verification that takes place. We also have no person on record to say that whether they stayed here or not. In fact, owners also don't stay, so nobody knows exactly whether it was Shraddha and Aftab exactly staying in. People keep on moving and shifting here. But yes, we'll try and get word from few people. If I can request my camera person Hemant Moite to let's move around and get some reactions of the people to understand and make some voices as well, know whether they know Shraddha and Aftab. We have shown the pictures of Shraddha and Aftab together to understand whether they know Aftab and Shraddha. But here, understanding one fact, we'll try and get word from a person who has a stall here. We'll ask him whether he also knows Shraddha or not. Interestingly, we have seen that दादा यहाँ पर अभी एक थोड़े दिन पहले अगर आपने सुना होगा एक मर्डर मिस्ट्री चल रही है, अगर आपने सुना होगा श्रद्धा और आफ्ताब के नाम की, तो आप जानते हैं ऐसा कुछ? नहीं जानते। मैं आपको एक तस्वीर दिखाती हूँ, आप पहचानने की कोशिश करिएगा अगर आपने कभी देखा होगा उनको यहाँ पर। ये देखिए, आपने कभी ये फोटो देखी है यहाँ पे लड़का लड़की की इनको? नहीं। कितने साल से आपकी दुकान है यहाँ पे? यहाँ अभी लगाया। अच्छा, ये देखो, ये लड़का और लड़की है, यही रहते। टीवी में आपने देखा है? यहाँ इनको नहीं देखा है कभी? नहीं देखा। अच्छा, सुना इनके बारे में कुछ यहाँ पे? कोई टीवी में देखा है, दूसरा को। ओके। डेयरी है ना साइड में? हाँ जी। Okay, so there is one dairy, one local has suggested, where we'll also try and understand whether people know them or not exactly, because see, this is a very developing area in the Palghar premises, and so we'll try and understand definitely from people over here to whether they know them or not.
All right, so that's the point, that as we are trying to build in more reactions, and especially from the people in and around who probably knew or could recognize Aftab and Shraddha, as they were different locations that they kept frequently changing. But in a short while from now, we are told that Aftab will be produced in court today. His earlier custody of 5 days that has ended, and in Saket Court in Delhi, we are told that he will be making an appearance, in all likelihood that the police will be seeking for further custody. And the further custody would also imply that further test or not that will be taking place. if the court also grants permission, so that the police can build upon a case to nail Aftab's lies. Because on several occasions, what the police sources have been indicating that he has been trying to mislead the investigating officials there. So probably also build upon the narco test and also the psychoanalysis test, because we've been also speaking to the doctors there. The first medical treatment and the checkup that is usually done after an individual is taken into custody, and they have been also talking about his behavioral pattern and how they have been talking about how he seems very confident. Such was the account that was given by the doctors who had actually conducted that medical checkup. But also remains to be seen whether it comes to a detailed investigation that also be needed to be carried out by the experts in the CFSL that comes under the ACBI. So even when it comes to the fragments of blood that are not visible to naked eye, we are told that certain amounts of other chemical tests that might be conducted to locate that if there was indeed blood presence of Shraddha there in the bathroom of that very apartment there. Neelashish, how long are we waiting for Aftab to make an appearance today and the lead in the investigation being carried out by the police?
Well, yes, absolutely. We're here at Saket Court, where he is expected to be produced in some time by the Delhi police, of course. What we have heard is it will be post 11 a.m. But as of now, people are waiting in court. In fact, what we do know as of now is that there is no lawyer at this point who will be representing Aftab. So that is something that the Saket bar also we're expecting, what we're picking up from sources, is that they will decide whether or not to give him legal representation and who will give him legal representation. Now, what is of key essence here is what the police says when they seek further remand of Aftab, whether or not they seek certain aspects with regard to the investigation, which will be given in the remand paper. That will be very significant, how many days they seek and what they disclose about the investigation before the court while seeking such extension of remand will be of very, very great significance. Of course, as of now, we're still waiting, but we expect him to be produced in some time, probably post 11 a.m.
Right, but Neelashish, as far as building upon the case is concerned, because there are several angles that are still yet to be investigated. Of course, when it comes to locating the skull of Shraddha, DNA profiling, that is also yet to be taking place. And also the CFSL lab, we are told that the experts also might be roped in to actually take a look upon at the apartment where apparently Aftab had killed Shraddha. For the moment, Neelashish, thanks very much for joining in. Sabyasachi to you as well. In a related breaking update,